Hey, fifth grade. Today we're going to be working in our fifth grade science home review packets. And today we are working in day 2. Now, all of day 2 has to do with what we learned in math as well. We're talking about how to measure things and what kind of units we're going to be using. So, open it on up and follow along. Day 2. What is the appropriate instrument we should select and use to measure different things? So the first question, we're talking about measuring time. It says a clock or stopwatch is used to measure elapsed time. So this is not only science, but it is math. You guys rock at elapsed time. The question says salt was added to the water in the flask and it disappeared. How long did it take for the salt to dissolve? So the salt was added at 9:05 and the salt disappeared at 9:07. This is pretty easy stuff. I know y'all can get how long did it take for the salt to disappear, and the answer should be 2 minutes. The next question goes into temperature. It says we use a thermometer to measure the temperature. In science, the units for measuring temperature are degrees Celsius. The first question says, at what temperature does water freeze? And the picture beside shows you that in Celsius, water freezes at 0 degrees Celsius. Then when does water boil? And at Celsius, water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. And finally, what is shown on the thermometer in the picture? What temperature is shown? It's in between 30 and 40. It's the little line in between 30 and 40. If you said 35 degrees Celsius, you are correct. Finally, we're talking about measuring volume. It says a graduated cylinder or a beaker are used to measure volume. Volume is the amount of space an object occupies. Look at the graduated cylinder and beakers. There are numbers and lines on the side. Each line marks a milliliter. If the graduated cylinder A was filled to the top mark with water, how much water would be in the cylinder? And if you look at the picture of the graduated cylinder A, the top mark is 100 milliliters. If the graduated cylinder beaker B is filled, it says at the very top, it would be 1,000 milliliters. And finally, how much water would beaker C hold if it was filled to the top mark? And if you look there, it says 250 milliliters.